Morning everyone. My name is Sai Prasanna Maredu. Today I am going to present my final internship project, which is a full stack food delivery web application. So during this internship, I learned how to build a complete web application from front end to back end. Earlier, I had knowledge of individual concepts like React components, Node.js APIs, MongoDB collections, and authentication. But through this project, I understood how all these parts work together in a real world application. The project I developed is a food delivery application similar to basic features of platforms like Swiggy or Zomato. In this application, users can view restaurants, search restaurants, check menus, add food items to cart, place orders, make payment using Stripe, and view their order history. Along with that, the admin can create restaurants, add menus, add food items, and manage the food delivery data. One special feature I implemented is an AI based review analyzer and AI food description generator. So the AI review analyzer reads the customer reviews of a restaurant and generates a short summary, sentiment, and important tags. For example, if a customer write reviews saying that biryani is tasty, the service is fast, or packaging is good, then the AI features summarizes those reviews into simple bullet points. This helps users quickly understand the quality of the restaurant without reading all reviews of one by one. So, the main goal of this internship was not only to complete a project but to understand how full stack development is done in a structured way. I learned how front end, back end, database authentication, API integration, payment gateway, and AI APIs are connected in one complete system. So, the goals of my internship were mainly this. First, to understand the complete workflow of full stack application. Second, to improve my React skills by building reusable components and managing state using Redux toolkit. Third, to learn backend development using Node.js and Express.js. Fourth, to work with MongoDB for storing users, restaurants, menus, food items, cards, and orders. And the fifth one is to implement the authorization using JWT. Sixth is to integrate the third-party services like Cloudinary, Stripe, Mailtrap, and Grok AI. Finally, to debug errors and prepare a project for deployment. So my project is built using the MERN stack. MERN stands for MongoDB, Express, React, and Node. MongoDB is used as a database. Express is used to create backend APIs. React is used to build the user interface. Node is used to run the backend server. So in in full stack development, front end and back end both are important. So the front end is what the user sees and interacts with. For example, restaurant cards and login forms, cart page, checkout button, and other order details that are all related to front end. So the backend handles the logic behind the application. For example, when a user logins, the backend checks whether the email and password are correct. When a user adds food to the cart, the backend stores the item in the database. And so that in my project, the front end communicates with the back end using API calls. For example, when the home page loads, the React sends a request to the backend to fetch all the restaurants, and backend retrieves restaurant data from MongoDB and sends it back to as JSON. So the project has two main modules, user module and admin module. In the user module, a customer can register, log in, browse restaurants, view menus, add items to cart, update quantity, remove items from cart, proceed to checkout, complete payment, and view orders. In the admin module, an admin can create restaurants, create menu categories, add food items, delete restaurants, delete food items, and generate AI review summaries. So, this project helped me understand how real applications are structured. Instead of write everything on in one file, I divided the application into folders like controllers, routes, models, middleware services, utils, Redux actions, Redux slice, components, and layout files. This made the project easier to understand, debug, and to maintain. So, coming to the requirements, architecture, and the design. So the first requirement was user authentication. Users should be able to register, login, logout, update profile, and reset password. I implemented authentication using JWT, which means a JSON Web Token. So when a user logs in successfully, the backend generates a token and sends it to the front end. So this token is stored in an HTTP only cookie, which is more secure because JavaScript cannot directly access it. For protected routes like cart, orders, profile, and payment, the backend checks whether the user is logged in. And the second requirement is restaurant listing. So the homepage displays all restaurants from the database. Each restaurant card contains an image, name, address, rating, number of reviews, and AI review summary if available. I also implemented sorting by rating and reviews and a pure veg filter. The third requirement is menu and food item management. So each restaurant has menu categories like biryani, starters, dessert, drinks, etc. So inside each menu category, food items are displayed. Food item contains details like name, description, price, stock, image, category, spice level, and AI generated metadata. The fourth requirement was cart functionality. Users can add food items to the cart, increase or decrease quantity, remove items, and view the cart summary. One important rule I implemented is that a cart belongs to one restaurant at a time. This similar this is similar to real world food delivery apps. So if a user adds food from another restaurant, the old cart can be replaced or cleared depending on the logic. So the fifth requirement was order and payment functionality. I integrated Stripe's checkout for payment. When the user clicks checkout, so the backend creates a Stripe's checkout session. After payment is completed, the order is created and stored in MongoDB. Order contains delivery information, ordered food items, payment status, restaurant details, user details, total amount, and order status. And the sixth requirement was AI integration. I added two AI features. The first is an AI food description generator. Admin can enter food name, category, price, and spice level, and the AI generates a description, tags, allergens, serving size, and best meal timing. So the second AI feature is a restaurant review analyzer. It reads customer reviews and generates sentiment like positive, neutral, negative, or mixed, along with summary bullet points and top mentions. Now, coming to the architecture of my project, follows a client server model. The React front end runs in the browser. The node in the Express backend runs on the server. The MongoDB database stores persistent data. Third party services like Stripe, Cloudinary, Mailtrap, and Grok AI are connected through backend services. The front end is organized into components like, for example, home, restaurant, food item, menu, cart, order success, list orders, order updates, etc. So I also used layout components like header and footer. For state management, I used Redux toolkit. Redux helps in managing global state. For example, user login state, restaurant list, menu data, cart items, and are stored in Redux slices. I created slices like user slice, restaurant slice, menu slice, cart slice, and order slice. I also created actions to make API calls such as login, register, get restaurants, get menus, add item to cart, payment, and my orders. On the backend side, I followed a structure called MVC. The models define the database schema. For example, user model, restaurant model, food item model, menu model, cart model, order model, and coupon model. Routes define API endpoints. The controllers contain the main business logic. So middleware is used for error handling and authentication and role authorization. Services are used for external services like AI review analysis and AI food generation. So, for example, when a user adds an item to the cart, the request goes to the cart route. The route calls the cart controller. The cart controller validates the user, checks the food item and restaurant, updates the cart in MongoDB, and sends the response back to the frontend. Security was also an important part of this project. I used password hashing with Bcrypt. Passwords are not stored directly in the database. Before saving the password, it is hashed. I used JWT for authentication and role-based access control. Some routes are only for admin, such as creating restaurants, deleting restaurants, creating food items, and generating AI summaries. For file and image handling, I used Cloudinary. User avatars and restaurant or food images can be stored using Cloudinary URLs. For emails, I used MailTrap during development. MailTrap Sandbox is useful for testing email functionality without sending real emails to users. Later, for real email sending, we can configure a production email provider. Overall, the architecture helped me understand how professional projects are divided into layers. And the front end handles user interaction, the back end handles logic and security, and the database stores the data. Okay. Then, first, in implementation details, I started with the backend. I created an Express server application connected with the MongoDB using Mongoose. I created environment variables for sensitive data like database URL, JWT secret key, Cloudinary keys, Stripe keys, email credentials, front-end URL, and Grok API. So important. This is important because we should not hard code secret keys in the source code. Then I created a user model and restaurant model and menu food item models, card functionality, payment. I implemented payment using Stripe. So after the user clicks checkout from the card page, the front end calls backend payment API. The backend reads cart items from the database and creates a Stripe session. So this is safer than sending prices directly from the front end because front end data can be manipulated. The backend calculates the price based on the database values. So after successful payment, the user is redirected to the success page. So the success page receives the Stripe session ID and calls the backend order creation API. So then I implemented the AI features for AI food description generation. I created a service that sends a prompt to Grok API. The AI returns JSON containing description tags, serving size, best meal timing. This helps admin quickly generate the professional food descriptions. So for AI review analysis, I created another AI service. It collects all review comments of the restaurant and sends them to the AI model. The AI returns the sentiment, summary, bullets, and top mentions. This data is saved in the restaurant document. On the front end, the restaurant card displays a view review summary button. So when user clicks it, the summary is shown. Okay, then now I'll explain the demo flow that I'll show. Okay, as you can see, this is a home page of the restaurant food delivery application. So neither any user is logged in or registered. So these are the 7 restaurants you can see. And whenever you click a restaurant, you can see the items and categories. Categories are meal, KFC meal, and dessert. These are 2 types of categories. In those categories, the food items are here, and there is a option called state, add to cart, and status. That is where it is, if it whether it is available or not. And let's see how we can register this into this app. For registration purpose, we can create an account, any name, XYZ, and mail. Mail should be in the correct format. You give any password. I and the phone number. Either you can choose an avatar or not, your wish. Okay. And then click the register button. You can see the account created successfully. So here is the profile page. When you click this avatar icon, you can see the uh, drop down called my profile. So as you see, this is a profile. You can also edit your profile by changing the name. Okay. And yeah, you can see that profile updated successfully. And you can also see orders of your particular name, as there is no, still it is a new user, so there is no orders. And when I come to the home page, you can see there are 7 restaurants. When I click the pure veg button, the Haldiram's restaurant is only consists of only veg data, veg menu items. So they can see these are the categories like charts, main course, and anytime. And in those menu categories, there are several food items, cost, and the cart functionality is added. So we can also sort by reviews. Based on the reviews, we can sort in decreasing to increasing order, as you can see. And also we can sort by ratings. So here you can see, as this new restaurant journey called so-called name has four-star rating, so it came up. And okay, then whenever we can also search the restaurant like Haldiram's, guys, KFC restaurant. Yeah, you can see the KFC restaurant. The search functionality is successful. And this is the user account. So as the user already created, registered, once we can check whether the login functionality is working or not. When you click the login button in the mail given, and the password. If you either forget the password, you can click the forget password, and the sorry, yeah, you can provide the recovery email so that it will be sent to the link will be sent to, yeah, you can see password reset token is set to mail. If the password is remembered, you can continue as usual. Enter the mail and the password and enter login. You can see, yeah, login functionality is also successful. So whenever the customer is hungry, customer wants to uh, order a food item, right? So you can check the which restaurant is better by seeing the summary, AI views, AI summary. So you can see here, view review summary. So here in this KFC, the sentiment is positive. It gives the fresh and flavorful dishes like paneer butter masala and butter naan, example, etc. Some bullet points and some tags related to this restaurant like chicken 65, hashtag fried chicken, etc. So whenever the customer is hungry and ready to place the order, customer clicks the restaurant. And in this restaurant, there's so-called tiffins created and one non-veg item. So uh, let us suppose think the food item is added to the cart. So the quantity is increased and it is added to cart. So as you can see, one item is added, that is puri, which cost 50 rupees. So you can also increase the quantity by clicking the plus button. So the updated quantity is 100 rupees. So it is ready to order. So by clicking the checkout, you can create the checkout session and it is redirected to the Stripe checkout. Yeah, you can fill in the details, any detail related to the user. And for demo, you can use the card information 4 to 4. Can use any month. And then you can click, see, as you can see, total amount is 100 rupees and delivery charges are 55 rupees. So total amount is 155 rupees. Still there is a, yeah, you can click the pay, then it will be ready to complete the payment and the order placed successful. So you can also check whether the order is placed. You can go to orders. So you can see the orders. The restaurant name is Jarnaya and item is 1 and the processing status is processing and today. Okay. Now the cart is empty because already order is placed. So in this way you can place an order and you can check here as well in the profile my orders. As you can see, this is the one order. So yeah, this is the user, what user can see. User can see the summary, review summary, based on that whether he can order it, he like it or not. So we can also add many restaurants when the admin is logged in. So yeah, we can check also the new user named Yashvita is created. So you can see here in the users whether we can check whether the Yashvita is created or not. Okay. And also there is a functionality called admin. So these are the admin functionalities. You can add restaurant by clicking add restaurant and you can fill out these details. And admin can also generate AI summaries. And yeah, you can also add item by clicking add food item and filling in details. So item can be added and also we can add menu category. So this is it. This is the restaurant and you can see an avatar is provided. Yeah, this is the complete demo of my project. Thank you.